Hello, hello. We are here with Jake Fox this week. Jake is the new what are we going to call you, Jake? Recruiting coordinator, recruiting director, the guru of recruiting, the czar of recruiting, the I don't
I'll
know.
take all the names. The king of recruiting.
Jake's our new recruiting director, recruiting guy. Let's just say that for now. He's the new recruiting guy for Norse Report. Um, for those of you guys who don't know, we definitely follow recruiting very, very heavily here at Norse Report. We have a portion of our site dedicated to recruiting. In fact, it's something that we feel really separates us from, I don't know, pretty much any other publication or social media account or anything out there related to NKU. Is really nobody follows recruiting the way we do, in an organized fashion. You might see some people retweeting some stuff from verbal commits here or there, but nobody compiles it into a list on their site and writes up recruiting profiles on the commits and stuff like that, like we do. And so thank God we had someone reach out to us. His name is Jake Fox. He's here with me today. And he asked if he could just do recruiting for us. And I thought about it for about 3 seconds and said, yeah, absolutely, you should do it. Um, it's a huge need for us, especially because we all just want to watch the games. We're all huge Norse fans that run Norse Report, so we want to watch these games and talk about the games, talk about the teams, whatever. And it becomes really easy to kind of forget about some of the guys that we're tracking, and especially some of the guys that we've already signed. And they need love too. We need to keep an eye on what they're doing so we can be ready to give you guys the lowdown on what to expect out of them. So, Jake, why don't you take a minute just to say hello to the fans and to give them just a little bit of a background on who you are, how long you've been a Norse fan.
Yeah, so a little bit background on me. I grew up in Alexandria, Kentucky, so local guy. Went to Campbell County High School and then went to NKU. Graduated in 2015 with a marketing degree. And then I still work here locally as a business development manager at Blue Star. So that's just kind of a little bit of brief personal history about me. As far as my connection with Kyle and NKU basketball, I've actually been a Northern basketball fan since I don't know, probably since I was 7 years old. My grandparents, who I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen throughout the years, Linda Nesbitt and Regis Nesbitt. My grandmother, she worked at NKU, and they've always been big sports fans and started taking to me all the games when we were in Regents Hall back in, the tiny little 2,500 seat stadium. So, I remember my favorites like Brendan Stowers and off
By the
my
way,
head.
Brendan Stowers, fan of the show. We are definitely going to give him a shout out that you just mentioned him. Brendan, by the way, that's the first name he mentioned. He didn't mention Craig Sanders or Paul Cluxton. He mentioned Brendan Stowers, and that's unprovoked. I've never heard anybody say Brendan Stowers number one as their favorite player growing up. That's cool.
Yep, he was always my favorite player. I don't know. I thought out of all the guys, I mean, I'm sure I have to pull up a list and name off a couple other guys that I remember, but Brendan always sticks out to me. I always thought he was the best one, just the most all around skilled, most fun to watch. So yeah, he was one of those guys, and a couple other guys like that just got me into NKU basketball and just kept going to all the games with my grandparents. Ended up going to NKU, and so I was always going to all the games as a fan there. Then I met Kyle actually playing basketball in the rec center in college. Imagine that. So, and then we'd become friends, over the days. And once I saw him start up the Norse Report, I don't know. I really enjoyed it just because as a local kid, I grew up a UK fan, just like a majority of people in the state of Kentucky, but I was also a huge NKU fan my entire life. And so, as I got older and I started having friends that went to NKU or, just friends in the area, I've been trying to get people to go to NKU games all the time because it's awesome. It's super highly competitive D1 basketball. It's right here locally. It's affordable. So when I saw you putting all your passion and efforts into it, I loved that. And so I got really into it. And I always thought about it the past couple of years. I was like, man, I really should help out. I'm really passionate about it too. I like it. And then I don't know if it was being quarantined and being bored this year or what,
Yeah.
but I finally just said, you know what, I'm going to reach out to Kyle and see if he needs any help, because I would absolutely love to, have my input. And I guess the way I wanted to do the recruiting aspect of it was, I'm always just so intrigued by who I think we're going to get next, or,
Yeah.
who's the kid that we're going to get next? What's our future look like? So I figured maybe just because I'm so interested in that, why not make that the thing I specialize in, or make that the thing that I, help you guys with the most. So
we're happy to have Jake on board. Just goes to show that we don't discriminate around here. We'll take UK fans, we'll take Louisville fans, I'll take anybody who wants to contribute to the Norse Report. So
even
with
Steelers
that,
fan.
well, that's pushing it. But yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, I don't really have much of a choice. So and also for all the Norse fans out there who want to get involved, you can always reach out to me at Norse Report or Kyle Craven on Facebook. And I'm willing to get you in. But Jake, before we get going here and look ahead to what's coming up next week, let's talk a little bit about some of the guys that we already have signed, guaranteed. Okay, Jake, let's start with Sam Vinson. This is a senior out of Highlands High School. He's actually coached by, I believe it's Kevin Listerman, former NKU point guard or guard, one of the two. Probably around the time you became an NKU fan.
I remember Listerman. Yep.
Yeah. So his brother, I think Andy might have played for the team too, maybe, or at least was around at NKU. I'll have to go back and look it up, but anyway, Sam was recruited by Darren Horn last year. We offered him, actually, ironically, only a couple weeks after Covcath played Highlands, which, Jake, you will find out soon. Darren Horn's son, Walker, plays for Covcath as a junior. So tell me what you think of Sam so far, based on what you've seen.
Yeah. So, obviously, like I said, I just kind of started diving into this the past few weeks. So I haven't had, a ton of time to, break down more game tapes or whatever. But from the few highlight films that I've seen out there, I like the kid a lot. He seems like a very well-rounded scorer. Once again, I've been only really watching the highlights, so I'm not going to comment today on his defense or even maybe really his, being a floor general because you kind of can't really see a whole play breakdown. But as far as just like looking at the highlights, I mean, he can shoot. He's a good spot up shooter. He's a great driver. It looks like he's handling the ball very well. He's getting by his guys pretty easily. I mean, every highlight I saw, he was blowing by every one of the guys that he was going up against. And the thing that I like the most is he has a lot of control when he's in the air. When he's going up, whether that's for a layup or if he's going up and he's stopping on a dime and he's going up for a mid-range shot, he has a lot of control and a lot of strength when he's in the air. And it almost seems like he's kind of floating. And then while he's floating, he's, stabilizes himself, squares himself to the basket, and he's either sinking a mid-range shot or he's, taking that contact and staying center to the basket and putting it in. So that was the thing that impressed me the most, was just his body control and just how long he was levitating in the air. So as a scorer, you can't really ask for much more than that. If you're, like I said, I'd have to watch more film on to see how well he's creating a 3-point shot, but it seemed like his open shots he was making. So you can't complain about that if he can knock down some threes. But yeah, just in general, I think he looked like a great playmaker and, a kid that can just create his own shot, which, that's a huge part of basketball. You don't have too many kids out there that can score from all three levels, and not only score from all three levels, but create their own shot from all three levels. So, yeah, I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah, that's a great take, man. That's I would say it's spot on. So I did actually get to go watch him play in person, and yeah, some of the notes that I have here on Sam are there's a couple things here. One of the quarters was coming to a close, and he knew it, and so he played really tough defense on the ball. The shot went up. He got the rebound. He checked the clock real quick. and was able to get the shot off in time before the buzzer. It didn't go in, but he got that off. So it just showed pretty good awareness there. What another fun thing I saw was the game was actually at Beechwood, and so it's a really small gym. Student section was wild. It was like Hawaiian night. They were chanting "overrated" at him. He knocked down a three as that chant started, and like gave him a quick look, and then got back on defense. Didn't like engage with him too much, but definitely let him know like who dad is. And it was just really cool. He had a really nice, what I called like Division I move, where he was, he took the ball in his left hand, which is not his dominant hand. Took it from about the elbow extended to the elbow, so like a lateral drive. Hit the spin move from the right elbow, and finished with the right hand. It was just really pretty, really fluid. Got it done in 2 steps. It was really nice, and like 2 steps and like 1 dribble basically, and it was really nice. And then at the end of the half, they ran a double team at him. He recognized it, beat it by himself, and then hit a 3 to end the half. So that was really impressive. Wow. And he had the Division I feel to him. And you make a really good point. Like, the game doesn't seem too fast for him. It seems like he's always, even if he's not the one dominating, or even if he's not the one scoring right at the moment, or even if his team's losing, like it always feels like Sam. It's almost a lot like Marcus Warwick last year when I watched him play. It's like they're never out of it because they're them and you're not. And it's like Sam is, I know it sounds goofy, but like Sam is like, he's always got his finger on the pulse of the game, and he's like a coiled snake ready to strike. Like he's always kind of waiting for his moment. And it really showed last time I went and saw him. And this is a message for Jake, but also all of our fans too. Highlands actually streams all or most of their games online on YouTube, on their YouTube page. So I know that Jake will probably catch 1 or 2 of those this year if he can. Our fans are encouraged to do it as well. Just go to, I'm pretty sure it's Highlands YouTube. Like, just go search Highlands High School, Highlands basketball. You'll find it. And you can probably just subscribe to their page and get notified when they're going live with another broadcast. So, Jake, anything else you want to leave Norse Nation with today?
The only thing I would say is I'm definitely very happy to be part of the team. I told Kyle, we kind of had a quick discussion when I got on board here, and I just told him that, I've been watching NKU since I was a little kid, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And if I can be, a little part of a reason that, other kids that are growing up in the area become NKU fans and stay NKU fans their whole life, that would make me very happy. So that's what I'm here for. I love watching my Norse, and I just want to get people in the area, and hopefully maybe people outside the area to do the same, and to grow up a Norse fan, and to continue to be Norse fans, and spread that in their family. So
awesome. Well, thanks, Jake. We appreciate you. And I know that Norse Nation, they might not know you yet, but they're going to at some point, and they're going to appreciate all the hard work you're putting in. So thanks, man. And we'll catch up soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.